African violets are houseplants most people recognize. They are very popular and easy to grow. I've been growing African violets since childhood. I have 3 blooming in my office right now and a fairly large collection at home. This is Rhonda Ferree with the University of Illinois Extension. So here's my African violets in the north window, and I'm going to water them. I use these pots that my mom made, and you can see that there's 2 parts to it. This part here is unfinished, and so it just soaks up from the water underneath as the plant needs it. So I'll go through and I water each of these. Sometimes I'll water them every other week. It kind of depends on the plant. Then when I'm done watering all of them, I usually try to go through and give it about a half turn or so, and that is because the plant tends to grow towards the light. So you can see this one, how it's growing towards the light. I like to give it about a half turn, try to get it to even out. And so I do that with all of them. And then as I'm going through, I want to go in and pick out any of the dead flowers that are in there, and any dead leaves that might be on the bottom and such. So over here, you can see this one has a lot of new blooms on it. Proper water and light are the key to growing African violets successfully in the home. Medium to high light is ideal. The plant will grow in lower light, but it really must have the highlight in order to flower properly. And you can see that mine do pretty well in this northern exposure, although I have had some success in an eastern exposure as well. It's best to water the African violet from the bottom, as I showed you before, since any water that splashes on the leaves are going to discolor them and can cause them to spot. If you water them from below, you could use a saucer like I have here on this plant. So I would simply put the water down into the saucer, and as soon as I see the water on the surface here, then I'm going to take that water out because I don't want the plant to drown. I'm going to repot this African violet. It's in a pretty small pot, and so I'm going to take it up to a little bigger one. It's a bit root bound, and it's got some kind of curvy stem, so I'm going to try to move it to a bigger pot. So if I take it out of this container, you can see that it has some roots. It's a real fibrous roots on the bottom that are pretty root bound. It's going to help it to move up to a bigger pot. And then this stem is very curvy. You can kind of see it curving here. And so I want to get that underneath the soil line, and it will produce more roots along that stem once it's under the soil. And again, I'm trying to get it into the center of the container, but I want to bury it so that that stem is right at where the leaves are, is right at the soil line. And that way it will root on that lower stem. You can find more information at our University of Illinois Extension website shown here. Or you can post questions and see other gardening tips at one of my IL River Hort social media sites serving Fulton, Mason, Peoria, and Tazewell counties.